Hi everyone and welcome back to another video with me, Shruti Vashisht. And you're watching my channel called Shruti Vashisht. It's just named after me. So today I'm filming indoors because these days it is incredibly hot outside. It's hot and humid at the same time. So I hope you don't mind, even though it's a much more sparse environment, but hopefully what I have to share is interesting. So today I'm going to be speaking about being present with others, and it's like a self-check exercise of whether you are able to be present with others, and I'm going to explain to you what that means, because this is a very important part of manifesting a relationship that is balanced, that is long-lasting, where you feel fulfilled. And as you know, on this channel I'm all about that. I'm about manifesting relationships that are balanced, that make you feel harmonious, that add value to your life, and you're not just in a relationship because it's the thing to do and everybody needs to have a partner or something like that. It actually adds value. It brings you fulfillment. It brings you something that it sort of enhances your own life purpose and adds on to that energy and makes it even greater. It's the energy of co-creation. So that is why I call these soulmate relationships, or the most fulfilling relationship you've had of your life, etc. So if you'd like to hear more and check if you are truly present with others or not, because this is an important part of the manifesting soulmate relationship. It's an important part of that. If you're not really doing it, you're not really going to manifest a partner like that, where you have that connection with them. That's like your ideal partner. So if you want to hear about that, keep watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It's a new channel, so show it some love. And also don't forget that I have a course that I've already announced. It's the Manifest Soulmate course, and you can check it out below this video. It's available to order, and I really put everything, like my heart and soul, into this course. It's a complete course. It's a 30-day course, so it's a really in-depth one. So check out all of the details to that below this video. I think you will find that it's quite unique. It's not like a lot of those manifesting courses that are out there. You can just check out in the details below, because I don't want to make this introduction too long. Also, I have a free mini guide that's there. So there's a free mini course that I've put together. It's like my gift to all of you. So check it out also below this video. You can download it immediately by clicking on the link below. And don't also forget that I have these personal services. I do private sessions, so you can work with me personally if you would like to manifest like a fulfilling relationship, or really anything. This channel is about manifesting. And eventually I will be getting into other subjects too, other than relationships and the manifesting process. Okay, so now we move into the subject, which is, are you fully present with others? And the first thing is, I have some notes here, so I'm going to keep looking down. So the first thing to check within yourself is that I want you to think about a time when another person was upset. Or even if they weren't upset, they had something really, they were talking about their day. Let's say they come to you and they're talking about their day. Let's say it's your partner or a family member or somebody you're close to, and they come to you and they're telling you something and they're excited. Or the other thing is that they are really upset somehow. What was the first thing that you did? Did you open your heart and just receive and just listen and be there as this person who is just listening and receiving them? So to keep this simple, let's focus on an example where the person is upset and they come to you rather than excited. We can talk about that later maybe. So this person is upset. Think about the last person that was upset in your life and they came to you. How did you receive them? What was your heart like? Was your heart space open? Were you listening to what they were saying? Or did you instantly go into your brain and start analyzing how to fix the problem? Or were you, thinking about what the possible solution is and then sort of just offering them advice immediately? So if that is the case, which is the case with a lot of us, then we are in this, we're not fully receptive. So we haven't opened up to our receptivity in relationships. And the thing is that when somebody is coming to you and if they're upset about something, part of the healing for them and part of this actual solution is to just receive them, is to just listen. Most of the time, people actually know what the answer is. They're not as such looking for the answer a lot of the time. And all they want is for somebody to just be there and receive them. That's it, just to listen to them. And the integration happens within that space. So when you can hold this space of love for the other person, that you're listening to them without judging them, this integration happens on its own, healing happens on its own, solutions come up on their own. And of course, there is no better solution for the person than the one that they come up with themselves, that comes up from their own inner being. And you may think that you know a little bit more about the subject, and it might even be true, but you might be surprised how our bodies have a way of communicating with each other. So when you're holding that neutral space, that space of non-judgment, and you're just allowing them to vent, or you're allowing them to speak, in that space, you're also through your heart communicating to them. And when you're doing this through the brain, by analyzing, breaking down the problem, they can feel that also, and it feels more uncomfortable for them. They don't feel as received, because receptivity comes from the opening of the heart first. And you can get into the mind later and come up with solutions and all of that, but the first thing that a person needs is for you to have that open heart and to just listen to them and receive them as they are. So when, even if you have these solutions that are coming to you, when you have an open heart, the heart is actually a portal in a way that the mind is not. The mind it may be a portal, but it works through its connection to the heart in delivering to the other person through non-communication. And so if you haven't opened up your heart and there's only this busy energy going on in your head, that communication won't happen, that non-verbal communication where they feel received and they feel open to your advice. So when you actually have an open heart, through that, when you're communicating to them in a way that is non-verbal, and they will actually receive it as well. Let's say you are calm and you know the solution, you're centered, they will kind of have access to their own center too, and through that, a ready solution or a change in state from that anxiousness that they're feeling into a calmer place. So I would say the first step is to just receive somebody with an open heart, and you can feel your heart actually opening up, holding that soft center space for them, even if you're not used to it, even if your go-to is just to go into your mind and to analyze the problem, to come up with solutions, all of these fixes that you want to do. And another thing that I want to tell you is that when we are sometimes when we just go straight to the brain, to the mind, to come up with a solution, it shows. Notice how your body's feeling, because it might be that you're uncomfortable with emotions, you're uncomfortable with chaos, you're uncomfortable in that space where there is no solution. And life is about both. Life is about being in that state where we know, we are certain of what to do next, but at the same time we also have to be open to receptivity, where we are just void. We don't know the next step yet, but we are just open and we're trusting that it's coming. It's fine, I can chill, I can relax, and then the clarity comes. So it's usually within that state, when we don't know, that a lot of emotions can come up. And so it might show that you are somebody who is a little bit uncomfortable with emotions, which is why when somebody else comes to you and they're agitated, you feel a little bit uncomfortable, and the first thing you want to do is fix it. It's like we try and fix something when we think that it's not okay, but it's actually okay to try. It's okay to vent. It's okay to feel not centered for a while. And that has to do with how we are coming into a new center. We're resolving something, and it's like it's leading to a new solution, to a new way of being, to new realizations, and that is how we grow. So growth cannot happen unless there is this process of letting go of something, feeling it, and then accepting something, and then coming into center once more. So life is about these cycles as well. It's not just linear and straightforward, where there's always a solution to everything on that spot. Sometimes the solution is just to be open and show up for the other person, and just show them that you are there unconditionally, that it's okay, it's fine, even if they're upset, you can be there with them in silence. It doesn't matter. You love them just the same. And they will feel it when you're not feeling this way, when you want to quickly fix it. You don't like that your partner's upset. You don't like seeing them cry. But crying, like I said, or being upset is also important. It's a way of the body, that the body vents, just like when we work out, we sweat, we release toxins and everything, and that is also a healthy process. When it's done to a certain degree. I don't mean all the time, or using it overdoing it, in any way. So that's the first step, is that don't offer advice unless you have been asked. So of course your partner can come to you and they can ask you for advice. Then it's a little bit different. That means now they're in that open space. They have asked for something, so then they're more open to actually receive it. They're not going to feel rejected when you try and give them a solution. So the second thing about being fully present with others is that once you are able to open your heart and just receive the other person, it's okay that they are having a certain kind of a day or a certain moment. It's fine. You're just present and you center yourself. You open your heart. You receive them unconditionally without judging them, just listening to their side. We all have a story. We all have our own versions and how we see reality. You're just receiving them. Then the next thing is listen to what are they really saying. So let's say, even if you disagree with what they're saying, and you somehow don't agree with what they did or their interpretation of what happened and why they're upset, and you think that they really don't need to be, or they're reading too much into something, whatever it is. But the second thing about being present with others is to listen, is to feel rather into what they are really saying, behind their words, behind even their actions. What is it that they really desire? It's going to be an essence. It's going to be a quality that they actually desire. And for example, if they, it could be that what they want is attention. What they want is validation. What they want is just to be heard. What they want is just for somebody to receive them, even if they know that what they've done is wrong, what they did wasn't right, but for somebody to just love them anyway and say it's okay. You can get up from this space tomorrow, and today it's allowed. You just be here and you be in this space of chaos or whatever you're feeling. It's okay. So these are actually things that they need to give themselves if they're feeling, because nobody else can truly give it to us. But as their partner or as their friend or whatever relationship you have with them, when you hold that space for them, it activates that energy in them. It activates that awareness, and you do that without even words, by just holding it. By not judging them, allowing them to be. They come into an awareness much faster than they would if you were to say, I don't think you're right, or maybe I disagree with you. And you see that when they're overreacting or they're upset in any way, even if it's not overreacting, it's justified, they're not necessarily going to be open to somebody disagreeing with them at that point. What's happening is that they're venting. What's happening is that there's then emotional chaos usually that's happening. So what they really require of themselves is to align with center again. So all you have to do is be that center. That is the fastest way you can help them to get into that space themselves. And once they're in that space, then of course dialogues can happen, solutions can be discussed, and a lot of it actually they will come to themselves, and you have to allow that space and time also for that to happen, even if sometimes you know better. So that is how you hold space for other people, even if you feel that you know better than them. Time and holding space, the space of love, can really do wonders. And really, it's very important for healthy relationships, for long-term relationships as well. People feel that love, they want to be with a partner. Most people want to be with a partner who can receive them just as they are, because none of us are perfect. We're not going to act perfect. We're not going to be in alignment all the time. So it feels like you're with somebody who has conditional love for you. If they require you, if we get that feeling from our partner that this person is uncomfortable when I'm not in alignment, they're not going to feel that level of comfort with you as they would with somebody who just receives them. And I'm not talking about just taking any crap from the person and allowing them to just be whatever. I think I made it pretty clear in this video that it's about holding center and allowing them to come center themselves, and giving them that space. And of course, if they don't come to it themselves, you can, after a while, step in, with a more gentler tone, offer them what it is, get them to see. And again, you can do it in a more gentler way, that, do you think, you can present it like this, that do you think it would be better if blah, blah, blah? Or what do you think about this? Rather than saying that you should do this, you are wrong, or I disagree with you. So it's important what kind of language we use as well, because language has to do with how much acceptance we have for the other person here, we have for that situation here, and our language comes out accordingly, so the other person feels it on all levels. So I hope that this video helped you, and let me know in the comments below what you think of this, if this process helps you, if you've ever tried it before, what you thought of it. Also let me know what kind of videos you'd like to watch. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Check out my new course, Manifest Soulmate Relationships, below this video, and I will see you in the next one.